When you set out to build something, you don't really know whether it's going to be a success or not. You're just putting it out there. If you go through my old Bible diary posts, you'll see where I mentioned that I was feeling a desire in me to start a podcast. I think this was in 2019. The timing was just never right. There was always something happening, so much going on, and just from my experience, from the things that I've learned over the years from putting out content, I've just learned how to wait, how to not rush into anything. When I first came into the public eye by sharing content, posting on my Bible diary blog, I had not counted the cost. I had not weighed it. I did not bother to ask God, what's the plan? How long? What is, just the details of what this was about. Because I'm a very, very passionate person. I'm the kind of person that once an idea comes into my mind, it's burning in me like fire until I execute. But it's not enough to, just receive that burning passion to start. There has to be another kind of fire that just keeps you going for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Hi guys, Ezinne Zara here, and we're about to start our ship. You're welcome to our BTS, behind the scenes. Let's go. I just really have learned from all the years of my life. I have so many lessons, and that is kind of what I want to also share with you guys. Easy like Sunday morning. Hey. I'm still figuring out life. I'm still 25. I'm still going to change. I'm still going to grow. There's just so much to life, which is exciting, but I believe that we can grow together, that I can share things that I've learned along the way. And so I've just spent all these years preparing for this day, really. Some of the things that I did was writing out what I want this podcast to be. It took me a while to really flesh it out because there are so many podcasts, right? And it's why should I care about this new one? I wanted to be able to answer that question. I wanted to be able to tell you why you should care about this. I want the Easy Like Sunday Morning podcast to be a place where young people especially can just find a home, right? Where you're listening into conversations that sounds like you're chatting with your friend about things that you've been thinking about or questions that you have. So yes, in as much as this is going to be a fun, chatty podcast, I do want it to have purpose. It's supposed to be something that you just listen to as you're going to work, as you're cleaning the house, as you're doing the laundry. If you're in the shower, you need to listen to something, because I'm one of those people. I just like to listen to things while I'm in the shower. If you just need to just unwind. This podcast is going to be that podcast. And guys, I am so excited. Also just feeling a bit emotional because so much work has gone into this podcast. You guys have no idea how much work has gone into it, and that's why I just want to specially ask that you please support this podcast, please. So we are going to be putting snippets of this podcast episode of the video on my YouTube channel, but ultimately the full length version of this podcast will only be available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, just everywhere you have podcasts, right? That's where the full episodes are going to be. It's not just about the camera, it's about the eye behind the camera. If you need any, because I actually want to have another eye here. I remember when we wanted to first launch the podcast, because of the vision I had in my head. You guys know I'm a sucker for excellence. I was like, okay, let's get this out. It's going to look like this and that and that and this. And I spoke with someone about the vision that I had. This is an amazing person. The person wasn't trying to extort money from me. In fact, they were trying to do it in the cheapest way possible. But the budget was almost 5 million naira to just do the visuals for what I wanted to do and just get the sound, And I was like, oh my goodness. I remember when I was talking to my husband, I was telling him, I can't believe that this low budget podcast that I filmed in my house is costing this much. And he was like, no, don't call it a low budget. Call it a small budget. Calling it a low budget makes it sound, like as if you don't regard or value the thing that you're doing. But yes, this is a small budget podcast. And that is why I am asking you guys to please support as much as you can. We would like to do season 2 of the podcast soon. And I would like to be able to do it in nicer space. Obviously, my home is nice. This is my home. But I would like to be able to film better quality podcasts. Those podcasts that you see, that you like the visuals, you like the sound, you like how it shows this person and that person, costs a lot of money. And many of these people are heavily funded. Many of these people have people that believe in their vision and are giving to what it is that they're doing. If you don't have money to give, that's fine. You can always share the content that we're putting out as much as you can. Just help it to reach more people. I am so excited that the podcast is finally launching, that you guys will finally have access to it. Some of you already found out about the podcast before we launched, I don't even know how you guys found out about this podcast, because we put the account on private and we're still getting requests from people wanting to follow. You guys are amazing. Let me just say that. You guys are just amazing. The support is crazy. You guys are beautiful, wonderful people. I bless God for every single one of you. I bless God for the love that you have for me in your heart. Some of you were requesting to follow the podcast. I'm like, it's not your time. Hold on, please. We want to just get everything to look a certain kind of way. We want to get our ducks in a row. We want to just launch well, so yeah, you guys are already like, oh, what's going on here? We want in, open the door, let's enter, and everything. The doors will be open today. You can go and look at our podcast. Yes, Easy Like Sunday Morning is live, guys. You're welcome to listen. You're welcome to share. You're welcome to support us. And feel free to send in your questions to team@ezinezara.com. If you have questions that you would like us to discuss, like maybe you have a dilemma, we'll just talk about it. We will not mention your name. I'm not going to mention your name unless you ask that you want it to be mentioned. Maybe you want a shout out. But other than that, I will not mention your name. You'll be anonymous. If you're watching this on YouTube, the full version is out right now on Anchor and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So please head over, and thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I will see you in my next episode.